Congratulations, guys. We did it. I honestly never thought I'd see the day, but anime's cool now. Well, I guess it's not like inherently cool. Like, you're not gonna get picked first in gym class because you like anime, but you're also not gonna get picked last anymore. So, hey, we take them where we can get them, but we're only halfway there. All right, now we need to start pushing the envelope. We need to make people start reading it in the intended form, the golden format, manga. Now, hold up, calm down. I know reading's scary, but yeah, I promise it's not that bad. There's pictures. Come on, there's pictures. If my brain can handle it, I'm pretty sure anybody's could. Let's go straight to talking about some of the concerns or reservations you might have about reading manga. Then we can move on to some of the heavy hitters, where you might be able to start if you're looking for your first manga.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! Where? I don't wanna fucking hear it!
Why would I read a bunch of pictures with some words when they already animated it and I could just watch it on TV? Well, some of the best stories in manga haven't even been adapted into anime yet, and the ones that have are like seriously far behind. Like, you gotta understand, this shit takes years and like so much money to animate. Not to mention, a lot of the shows that get made off these manga, they've completely lost the plot in like the worst way possible. Let me ask you something. You like Tokyo Ghoul? Well, like, the whole second half of that story in the anime was just made up, and it was completely unrecognizable from the manga, and in my opinion, it was way worse, and I love that anime. And how about Boruto? I bet you're a big Naruto fan, and you saw Boruto, and you were like, this is the stupidest shit ever. This dumb little kid has like a cell phone and is riding the train, and they have technology, and he just whines all the time, and I'm not watching that. Well, this is what Lil Bro looks like now. He pulls up to the fucking function, landing on bro's head. Plus, he's a full-ass grown man, and he was raised by the Unk, Sasuke. So I'm telling you, he's not a soft little piece of shit anymore. Not to mention Sakamoto Days. That's like one of my favorite mangas right now, and you probably have barely heard anything about it, and if you did, you just heard it was a mid-tier anime. The anime, they're not doing anything special with it, but I'm telling you, that manga, it is something special. It's something. And I know what you're thinking. I don't even know where to get manga. You're telling me I gotta buy every volume? I'm gonna have a bunch of these books on my shelf? No, bro. It's all here. It's all on your fucking phone. You can get it right here. The Shonen Jump app is like $3.99 a month, and it has every shonen manga on it. This isn't sponsored. It's just like, where else are you gonna get that many manga for $4 a month? Not to mention the Viz app is super cheap, and that has a bunch of manga on it. Hell, you can even just unlock chapters with like coin currencies on these weird fucking apps too. And if your broke ass can't even handle those prices, just pirate it. I don't care. Just fucking pirate it. Hell, if you feel bad about it, you can just go back and buy some deluxe edition to support your favorite mangaka retroactively. Yeah, I wouldn't know nothing about that. Nope. And no, your phone, it's not too small to read manga on. I'm telling you, it's the thing everyone's walking around comparing their shit to. Like, if that's too small, then think about what else is too small, bro. But honestly, it reads surprisingly well on here. And you have it everywhere you go. Like, you can do this shit on the John, or at class, at work. Hell, I started doing it in between sets at the gym because I'm so bad at giving myself like a minute or two in between sets. I always want to jump right back into it. I start reading some chapters on my phone, and before I know it, it's been like 4 minutes. Now let's talk about one of my favorite parts about reading manga. Is reading it live. Like, if you're a fan of JJK, you saw season 3 just started coming out, it's already fire. Of course it's fire. But I'm telling you, that manga ended in like 2024. Hell, we even got 2 Jujutsu Kaisen now, but that's a whole other thing to get into. I cannot explain to you the final fights of JJK. Reading that as it was coming out was so electric. It was just such a cool thing that, like, you just had to be a part of it. I swear, every time a new chapter came out during the big fight at the end, it was like the second coming of Christ. I honestly don't know how you guys avoided all the spoilers for it, any of you anime-only watchers, because I was seeing shit everywhere. Me and my buddies would all be texting each other, y'all see the new chapter? Y'all see the new chapter? And honestly, there were so many similarities with Chainsaw Man. There were so many big parts that everyone was talking about as they were coming out. It's just such a cool thing to be a part of. It just felt like you were in the know or you were just getting spoiled. Which brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Bro, you can't be in the year of our Lord 2026 totally invested in some show that the whole internet is like 3 years ahead of you on. You're gonna get that shit spoiled, bro. Well, I'm sure most of you guys have been in the position where you're typing up your favorite character's name and then you just see the auto-generated death after it. There's a way to avoid this shit, guys. You gotta just be on top of it. Basically, you have to be in the know to know, you know? And listen, this is not some anti-anime video. I love anime. I'm just saying there's plenty of stories that just miss the mark. And they end up in the old ditch of coulda-beens. But guess what? The manga wasn't a coulda-been. The manga was fucking awesome. Being caught up on the manga doesn't make me less excited to see the new seasons come out. It makes me more excited. I know the fights that I want to see animated. And when it's something like JJK and it's Mappa animating them, I have to see them. I'm telling you, it doesn't kill any of the fun of watching the animes just because you've read the manga. And if anything, it takes so long to animate. It's usually about that time where you're like, I forgot half of what the story's about. I want to rewatch it. The anime's coming out for the first time at that point. It's perfect. Now, calm down. I know what you're thinking. You're so fucking excited. You're about to download every app and buy every manga that ever existed. You need to know where to start. I got you. Well, first, before I get into any of these, read whatever you want. Pick something that sounds like you would like it. Look at a cover and you just like the dude on the cover. Read it. It don't matter. Everybody's their own person. You're going to have your own opinion. But for the starters, if you haven't even watched anime and you stumbled upon this video and now I got you hyped to read manga, I think Berserk is the perfect first manga for anyone. It's just such a nice little romantic, lighthearted story. And I think it's great but for real, if you really are just getting into it, the best thing to get into is look at the big three. Look at stuff like One Punch Man. They're pretty easy reads, and they're the industry standard, so they don't do everything perfectly, but most of the other stuff that's come after it comes because of those big three. And if you want some more complicated power systems, the ones like JJK and Hunter x Hunter just have so much deep lore to dive into as far as the power systems are concerned. And if you want more of just a basic power system, something easier to follow, ones like Full Metal Alchemist and Chainsaw Man, at least Chainsaw Man starts simple. It might get kind of off the wall a little bit farther into the story, but it's a very basic premise. The more you fear something, the stronger the devil is. So like there's Tomato Devil, it's not very powerful. But then like the Shark Devil, a little bit more, people are more scared of that. And then there's stuff even farther past that like are innate. I don't want to get into it, but that's a good one. Back to Berserk though, because I have to recommend it. It is just one of my favorite mangas of all time. If you like that dark fantasy look, definitely very mature content, there's no one that does it better than Berserk. Plus, it's the perfect example for this video because it's not really ever gonna get the perfect anime adaptation. Definitely not one that covers most of the story and is in 2D animation, unfortunately. But that's just that much more of a reason to read the manga because it's the only way that you can experience this story, at least to its fullest extent. And if you want something a little more wacky, a little bit more bizarre, perchance, look no further. Come on, you gotta read JoJo's. I'm telling you, if you can appreciate those stances and those fits, then that's for you. And if those fits, if they're not for you, if you're like, that's some weird shit, just move along. You can keep moving along. But I'm telling you, if you can appreciate that shit, JoJo's is where it's at. The mangaka for JoJo's, Araki, he has done so much in the fashion world, and he's come so far with his storytelling that every part just gets better and better in his character development. And he's worked so much on his art that he started putting it out into art exhibits without telling anybody that it has anything to do with his manga, just so he can prove to himself that he is a good artist, not just a good mangaka. By the way, I don't know if I said it any earlier, but mangaka is just a manga artist and author. They do it all. And if you want that high IQ shit, that Rick and Morty of the anime world, Death Note's what it's gotta be. That's another one that has a different ending than the anime does, so if you've watched the anime and you've never read the manga, I would definitely recommend it. All of it, other than the end, if you know the end, it's not perfect in either, but it is different. So if you've never experienced the manga, I would definitely recommend it. And let's go back to modern again. We got Hell's Paradise. That one is just a nice cold killer main character, but then starts developing some emotions and starts feeling things. And it's got a really cool power system too. Akira is a great one to check out. I know a lot of people have seen the movie. The movie doesn't cover jack dick, dude. There's so much more to this shit, and it's so cold. And these ain't nothing new. I'm sure you've heard of these, and I've been talking about the one, but you've heard of them for good reason. They're fucking bangers. And we're not just talking about Dragon Ball Z here. Original Dragon Ball, banger. Honestly, kind of weird at certain times. It was the 80s, and in Japan, I could go on and on about different ones that you should read, and which ones have the best ratings, and which one do the best storytelling, but it's up to you at this point. You gotta just find one and just read it. Find your shit. Find a character that you like, or just like a style of one that you like, and just grab it and pick it up. What's the worst that could happen? You're doing some reading, okay? And that first story that you like, and it hooks you, which it will hook you, there's no going back. You're gonna be too far into it. You're gonna be tearing through the weeds looking for the next one. And let me tell you, there's gonna be no shortage of good stories once you are in. I mean, we have the internet now. You can just Google that shit or go to a website like My Anime List just to search certain genres that you like or try to find different styles. Hell, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but try just going outside. Walk right out your front door and go to touch some grass on your way past, and then go to like Barnes and Nobles or a bookstore or a comic store and just pick up a manga. If you just want to have one in your hand and you just want to start reading right away, just go. And then once you're sucked into the world of manga, you can then be that annoying friend in the group that laughs at all your friends because you're 3 years ahead of all the shows that they're watching. All their favorite shows that they wait year after year for the new season to come out. You already know. You know who won the fights. You know who died. You can't get spoiled. You hold all the power. But don't waste that power. Don't fucking spoil shit for people, because we have, I'm getting a little crazy. This isn't the army, but still, we do have some responsibility, okay? We're the ones that know what happens. We can't be spoiling the anime only watchers, okay? I know it's fun, and it's a fun idea. Oh, we can fucking go spoil them. It was you at one point. Remember that. It was you. Anyway, if I got you fucking hyped up and I got you on this shit, maybe stay a while. Maybe go check out these videos that are floating around me. Man, I got myself hyped. I'm about to go read something, so I gotta go. You guys fucking take care. Holy shit.